Hey guys, how are you? Dave here. I am back from Florida, so I'm kind of in a video making kind of mood. And this is my second time making this video. Basically, this is going to be another tech survey, which is on the floor. This is my second time making this. But today's August 18th, but I'm going to call this Tech Survey 081908. 19 meaning August 19th. Therefore, I'm not going to upload it until tomorrow. I don't know if you really care, but I just wanted to give you a little disclaimer. Alright, so first of all, I got a tech survey submitted by YouTube user CPUKid00. So special thanks to you, because without you, this video wouldn't be happening right now. So check out his YouTube channel at youtube.com/CPUKid00. I will put a video channel link. I will put a channel link in the video description to your right. I'm not sure which way I'm pointing right now because I have to turn my monitor. It's flipped. There we go. So this is my second time recording this, like I said, so I'm going to try to kind of fly through this, not to make it too boring. Do you prefer XP or Tiger, and why? I was an XP user for many years before I was a Mac user, but I switched from XP to OS X for a reason, so obviously I prefer Tiger. It's just better for productivity. They have dashboard, expose, spotlight. It's just a fantastic OS, and I'm obviously using Leopard by now, so I'm not sure why they said XP or Leopard, but I guess XP or Tiger is a more fair comparison. Although not really, because Vista has gadgets and Tiger has the widgets. So, I don't know, but overall Tiger. Besides the Xbox 360, can you think of any good Microsoft products? No. I'm just kidding. Calm down. No, not really. I'm just kidding again. The Zune. Seriously. The Zune has certainly come a long way. The Zune has changed a lot over the past couple years that it's been out. I think it's been out for a couple years. I used to be a Zune hater, a Zune basher on whatever, like, oh, the Zune sucks, get an iPod. However, I will still say get an iPod instead of a Zune because I'm an Apple person. But I will be honest when I say the Zune looks like the top competitor in terms of the Apple iPod. You know, iPod versus Zune, it's a pretty fair comparison. I'm not really a Zune user, but it seems to be a pretty fair comparison. And besides that, Microsoft Office is a fine suite of applications, and it's obviously widely used by you know, business, personal use, everything basically. Office is like the standard, so which is good. Do you prefer wired or wireless peripherals, if I can say it? I actually prefer wired. My keyboard is wired, my Mighty Mouse is wired, as you can see. This is because I don't like to have to worry about changing batteries, and it's just more secure and trustworthy. But I also love wireless products, but I prefer wired if it's good enough. But then again, if the wireless product has excellent battery life and it's well designed, then I will get that instead. Why did you join YouTube? I joined YouTube because before YouTube entered my world, my life, I knew nothing about video editing, but I really wanted to get into it. I was always fascinated by the fact that you can actually edit video. Back then I was into graphic design and still am, obviously, hence my website and everything. But back then, video editing to me always felt so complicated. Like, wow, people actually cut clips, put in special effects, cut the audio, make in and out points. It's like, I used to think it was the coolest thing, and I still do think it is the coolest thing. People actually take it for granted that we can edit video, and think about it, we're capturing moments, putting on our computer, editing it, if I can say that, putting it out there for the world to see. That's amazing. You can't forget how fortunate we are to have that, guys. So I joined YouTube because I was always into trying video editing, and honestly, not to sound like an Apple commercial, the ease of use of iMovie, back then I was an iLife 04 user, iMovie made it so easy to cut, edit, and export all that stuff. I was just amazed by it, and here I am today, more than 2 years later. What is your favorite thing about YouTube? Basically all the things I just said. The ability to share your content with the world for free, and it's just an amazing service. Do you see yourself quitting YouTube anytime soon? Hell no. The only time I would quit is if I was forced to, like YouTube shut down for some reason. But let's hope to God it doesn't happen. But it will one day, but not anytime soon. Do you see yourself quitting? Oh, I just said that. Does a Samsung Instinct even have the slightest chance of beating the iPhone? Alright, this is interesting. Interesting, if I can say that. I say that a lot, don't I? I have tried an Instinct, even though it was only for 5 minutes. I think it was enough time for me to get a slight feel of the operating system. And I'm a heavy iPhone user. Seriously, I am. I love my iPhone. It is the best phone I've ever owned. And nothing has yet to change that. That may sound biased, but it's the truth. The iPhone's an amazing gadget. And the Instinct, after using the iPhone, the Instinct was like, oh, this feels like a cheap ripoff. And that's just my opinion. And I realize I have some Instinct users out there that uses that and stuff like that, but to me, I just prefer the iPhone. Linux or Windows? I've never used Linux, but after talking to my friend Jesse recently, I actually am very interested in using Linux. Ubuntu, I think you mentioned it, pronounce it. I'm going to be running Ubuntu off a disk pretty soon, maybe in like within 2 weeks or so. I realize that's not the fastest way of doing it, like, you know, performance-wise, but it is a pretty good way of just getting to learn the OS and the interface. So I will try it out. But in terms of preference, I would say Windows, because I haven't used Linux, so I'm pretty comfortable with Windows, although I don't prefer to use that either. So, how much RAM do you have in your computer? I have 3 gigs in my Mac Pro, 1.5 gigs in my PowerBook G4, 128 megs in my iMac G3, and 512 megs in my Power Mac G4. So yeah. And again, the older machines don't need much RAM because I just use them for storage or whatever. Just management, stuff like that. How old are you? I am 13. I'm just kidding. I'm 22. Even though I look like I'm 16 or 17. But that's a good thing for later in life. What career do you want to pursue? I'm actually not sure at this point. I do have a lot of personal options in terms of creative hobbies. I love web design, I love video editing, I love graphic design, I love photo editing, I love these creative abilities. They make me feel really good about myself. Twitter updates, Richie Var. Watching Olympics with the family, good times. Shout out to you, Richie, if you're watching. I'm sure you are. So, what career do I want to pursue? Any of those hobbies. I can't guarantee I'll get into that hobby, because, yeah. But I would really be fortunate to work from home someday, to run my work from home like a mini lab or studio. Then have my clients come here, or I go out there, but I do the main work in my studio at home. That's like kind of my dream. Because I love working with my technology in a comfortable environment, not having to worry about people hovering over my shoulder. I'm a very to myself kind of person when it comes to working on the computer. I just need my personal space. But that's obviously the same in an office environment, you know, if you have your own office. But overall, I do want to do something from home focused around Photoshop, web design, video editing, whatever it may be. Sunrise or sunset? I have seen both, and I have to say sunrise. Although the sunsets look really nice over here. It looks awesome. I can see it out my window every day. Really, really nice view. Morning or night person? I'm actually a night person. It's 10:52 right now, which is pretty early. But on average, I go to bed like 4 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah. Night person because I'm just more productive that way. And I don't have people bothering me, basically. So I can concentrate more. Batman or Spider-Man? So Kristen's like walking around out there. I'm not a huge fan of either, but I'm definitely a bigger fan of Spider-Man than Batman, and I think it's really cool that you can swing around New York City with the webs and stuff. I just think that's the coolest thing, so Spider-Man. Good old Spidey. What do you think of the Mojave experiment? I think it's good that Microsoft's finally getting out there. I don't know what the hell took them so long. They kind of let Apple out there for a couple years saying, oh yeah, Vista sucks, get a Mac. Which is not a problem with me. It's advertising. It's a unique way of advertising and certainly cause an uproar with certain people. And it gets attention, so Apple did a great job. But now Microsoft comes in here with the Mojave experiment. Just search on Google Mojave experiment or Yahoo or even Live, whatever you use for your search engine, and you'll basically see what it is. Basically, I think it's good that Microsoft's doing this. I don't really think it's the best approach because, honestly, I don't know if they're real people They seem like actors because they're like, oh, I love Vista now. I know that's the whole point of the advertising campaign, but then again, it seems too staged. But that could just be me. I've seen reports on the internet saying that they could be actors, but there's no real confirmation until you talk to Microsoft themselves. So, that's just me. Are you glad Bill Gates retired? No. I'm not the biggest fan of Microsoft, but I'm not glad Gates retired. Gates was a genius. Well, Gates still is a genius. He didn't die or anything, he just retired. He's moved on to other things now, which is great. But the fact that he retired, that's not really a good thing. Like I said, I'm not a big Microsoft fan in terms of Windows, but Gates certainly did make a big difference of where we stand today in terms of computing. Just like Apple, Jobs and Gates made a huge difference, and Woz and everybody else out there. Will you miss Steve Jobs when he retires? Now this is different for me, yes. Steve Jobs is much different to me than Bill Gates is. Steve Jobs drives Apple. Microsoft can survive without Gates, but Apple is driven by Jobs' charisma, business decisions. He's a brilliant businessman. He makes awesome decisions. Not always. Jobs isn't perfect. Nobody's perfect out there. Apple's certainly not perfect. But I'm just saying, without Jobs, Apple will change. For the better or worse, we don't know yet. But things certainly will change big time when Jobs eventually does retire. So yes, I will miss him very much. How important are computers in your life? They are extremely important. They drive my website, they drive my video editing, my creative abilities, my contact with friends and family. They basically drive my whole life, you know. But in the end, it is just a computer, and family and friends certainly do come first. So you can't always think that a PC or Mac is like the most important thing in the world. While they are amazing platforms, nothing beats family and friends, so never forget that. But I do love my Mac Pro, trust me. Sorry. Do you have any websites? Ah, yes. TheCreativeOne.tv. Click that banner or whatever, wherever it is on this page. It goes to my YouTube channel, and then the banner at the top of my channel is TheCreativeOne.tv. Go there, check it out. It's my live stream, my upcoming blog in September, and yeah, I also have PlugYourTube.com, which is YouTube exposure for free, and StellarAdverts.com, which is a one-time fee of advertising your website for life, because it doesn't cost much to run that simple website, which is why I offered a one-time fee for life. But this isn't an advertisement. They were just asking what I do. And I do have other websites, but they're not my own personal websites. They're websites I run for organizations and my dad, for instance, for this thing we do in town. So, if so, do you have any sponsors to help run the websites? Yes, I do. I'm very fortunate to have a very good number of sponsors now on TheCreativeOne.tv. As you hopefully know, the sponsors help me out big time. All this money I'm getting from the sponsors does not go towards personal belongings, does not go towards like Wawa Coffee or iPhone applications or video games or anything. My sponsorship money goes towards my websites. And up until now, my websites have cost money. Obviously, I run 3, 4, 5 websites or whatever. And this stuff isn't cheap. It's far from cheap. And I'm doing a total redesign of TheCreativeOne.tv in a couple weeks or so. And I'm not going to put a price on things, but let me just say the hosting fees, whoa, they're going up big time from what they are now. So sponsors, if you are watching right now, seriously, thank you so much. Your sponsorship money is making a huge difference for me and all of my fans and my viewers and my streamers and all those people out there. So sponsors out there, thank you very much. And if you're interested in sponsoring me, not to advertise, go to my website at TheCreativeOne.tv and click on advertise in the banner. It's like somewhere in the banner, towards the right next to contact, I believe. So yeah, sponsors make a big difference. My website probably wouldn't be up today if it wasn't for the sponsors, so special big thanks to them for like the 5th time. Do you care what people think about you? Only to a certain extent, but in terms of, oh, look at David, he sits on his Mac all day editing videos. To me, that's not a bad thing. To me, that's training my abilities, exercising my mind and getting stuff done. In terms of like haters and stuff like saying, "Oh, David, you suck," and your videos are horrible. It's like, I don't give a crap what haters think, because just because they're not happy with their lives doesn't mean they have to take it out on others who actually are making a difference in this world and putting content out there for thousands of people to enjoy, and running websites and live streaming and blogging and stuff. But I'm not trying to get like personally attack anybody, but listen up when I say this, haters. Get a life, do something productive, get out there, make money, make friends, do whatever, just do something with your life. That's all I'm saying. So, do I care what people think about me? Only to a certain extent. That's iCal reminding me of something on my website. So, honestly, not really. Wired or wireless internet, I love both. When I had to pick one, definitely wired, because it's more secure and faster. But that's obvious. Oh, it even popped up one here on my Mac, iCal. God, I love OS X. It just works so well. So, that's great. It popped up at the same time, my iPhone and iCal on my desktop. Not to sound like, I don't know. It's just, I love my Mac, guys. It just makes life so much easier. Anyway, wired. I'm talking a lot. Linksys or D-Link? We actually use both. Both, meaning 3. Both, meaning 2. For our network setup, our routers, our switches, hubs, cable modems, all that stuff. But I have a switch under here which is actually made by Linksys, and I have no complaints about it whatsoever. It works great. This is actually how all this is happening right now. My Mac Pro, my 360, my PS3 are all going through that switch, and it works great. Where did you get your main... Oh, Best Buy or Circuit City? Definitely Best Buy. For those of you who are not keeping up with the news, Circuit City is in big trouble right now. They will be going like away within a couple of years. I can't confirm if that's 100% legit, but let me just say, chances are very good that Circuit City is going bye-bye. I know that's a high voice, but that was just to emphasize the fact that they're leaving Best Buy FTW. Where did you get your main computer? Mac Pro is from the Apple Store in the Christiana Mall in Delaware. PowerBook G4 is from CompUSA. I'm actually 3 is from my neighbors for a favor I did for them. And PowerBook G4 I bought off my friend from Chris. So they all came from different locations, which is cool. Are you happy with your life? I'm very happy with my life. In terms of family and friends, I love them all. In terms of creative hobbies, they make me feel good about my life. Seriously, I love sitting down in front of my Mac, video editing, web designing, photo editing, graphic designing. All this stuff really makes me feel good about myself. It puts self-confidence into me. Not to get all, like, psychologic here, but I'm sure many of you will agree with me. Editing content really soothes your mind and it relaxes you and it makes you feel good about yourself. So, maybe it's just me. I don't know. I love what I do. So, yes, I'm very happy with my life. Black or white in general is the next question. In general, and this doesn't mean for people or anything, let's not get into the racism debate, because whites or blacks are all equal to me. Obviously, I'm not racist. But in terms of gadgets, I do prefer white. This is my new iPhone case, but I also prefer black for certain things. For instance, the black iPhone looks fantastic against the white case. That looks really good, doesn't it? In terms of like smaller gadgets or bigger gadgets, I do prefer white. White to me is just a more classy color. But in terms of video and audio equipment, definitely black. Black is a more professional thing, like for speakers and the on-cue receiver, and the PS3 looks great in black. Lamps look great in black, but lamps look good in white too. But I guess both, but overall, in general, white for gadgets. Because, again, look at this. I love this case. It is the in-case slider. So, yeah. Digital cameras or film cameras? This is actually a film camera I'm recording with. It records the mini DV cameras, but it's capturing directly to iMovie. So I'm not technically using the tape. And my DSLR, my point-and-shoot camera, my still camera, is digital. It captures to a compact flash card. So both for different reasons. Firefox or Safari? I use both actually. Firefox for streaming and Safari for web browsing. I do this mainly because if one browser crashes, it doesn't shut everything down. For instance, if I go to a website that crashes Safari, that means my stream will also crash on thecreativeone.tv, which is my website, shameless plug. So I use Firefox to stream, that way it kind of idles and just works on the streaming, and Safari for web browsing. And I always prefer Safari in terms of regular web browsing. Firefox or Safari, definitely Safari. The extensions in Firefox are not a big deal to me, to be honest. They just aren't. I love Safari. I'm a huge Safari fan. I love the interface. I love the bookmarks bar. I love how everything works and how Apple integrates everything with Mail and Dashboard, and everything just works. So, for the most part, I'm not saying it's perfect because it's far from perfect, but so is Firefox and Opera, and certainly IE. So, final question is a very simple one. HD, DVD, or Blu-ray? Come on, guys. Obviously, Blu-ray. I just did that for effect. Hopefully, it worked. For those of you who missed the news like 6 months ago, or maybe a year ago, I don't know. Blu-ray officially did win the high def award, so HD DVD is dead. And I love Blu-ray. I don't have any complaints about it. The image quality is excellent. Surround sound, insanely crisp. A lot of storage. I cannot wait to get a Blu-ray burner. Think about it, guys. Storing that much data, gigabytes upon gigabytes on one disc. We live in an amazing time in our world. Oh, seriously, I just love technology. And Sony made an excellent choice choosing Blu-ray for the PS3. So, that's basically it. Thanks again to CPUKid00. I will put his channel link in my video description. Definitely check him out, because like I said before, without him sending me that email, this video wouldn't be happening right now. And if you have a survey, question, or comment, feel free to email me at daviddefranco@gmail.com. I can't guarantee I'll email you back because I do get a lot of email, but I do try to respond to emails that really need answers. So I'm not trying to seem rude or anything. I'm just being totally upright honest with you. I don't know if that's the best way of explaining it. But for the most part, I do reply. That is Twitter. Actually, Twirl. Twitter, same thing. Yeah, before making this video any longer, wow, this is long, I'm out. Thanks for watching.